Go away. Jeez. Hey, welcome. It's nice to see you here. And I moved location since last stream. I'm now down in my room with my heated blanket. Hey, Queen Nemmer, welcome. It's nice to see you here. Hmm. What are you doing? Misty. Oh no, it's okay. At least I'm just glad that I finally know what's wrong with me. I'm just glad that I finally know what's been causing me to cough like this. And, well, last time had pneumonia, I went into the hospital, so I'm just glad that the pneumonia isn't as bad this time. Scoot Zip Zoom. Hello, welcome. I don't think I've ever seen you around here before, unless you are someone who's been here a lot and you've changed your username. In that case, welcome back. If that's the case, I hate to leave so soon, but I gotta go upstairs and see what my mom wants. She probably wants me to take another pill or something. Okay, I'm back. Hi, guys. Oh, it's okay. You don't need to be sorry. I mean, like I said, I've had it before. Sorry, my mom wanted me to. Here, Misty. Here, Miss Moo. My mom wanted me to. My mom needed me. I might have to go up later. Remind me to go check on my sister in a little while. Right now, I'm just working on outlining a page of 2 sides. And, I actually outlined another one earlier, but I lost my eraser, so I can't continue to work on that one. I was watching Captain Planet earlier, hence the thumbnail. Yeah, that's Misty, my doggo. Yeah, I've been working on 2 sides of the same story while watching Captain Planet. That's what I was doing before the stream. You guys know what Captain Planet is? Ever heard of it? Mm. It says that only one person is watching the stream right now, but I highly doubt that's true. Yeah. Oh, whoopsies. Hang on. I got a better idea. Well, I knew about the crossover, even though I don't watch OKKO. I've thought about watching it, though. It seems like a fun show. You can't really see it all that well right now. So, for those of you who don't know, Captain Planet was a cartoon that first aired in 1990. It was an environmentalist cartoon, and it taught us the dangers of what can happen to our planet if we don't take care of it well. And it's a good message considering that our planet needs our help now more than ever. And um, the episodes that I've seen the most are these 2 episodes in particular. That these episodes didn't really touch on environmentalist stuff, but they were still issues that people face. One of them talked about drug use, and another talked about HIV and AIDS. Yes, it is. It is Splendid and Lammy. They're 2 of the main characters in this story. Sometimes I think I went a bit over the top about Lammy's story, but I mean, like, I feel like you could do literally anything with this character because she hasn't aired in a whole lot of episodes yet, so we still don't know a whole lot about her. I mean, we know that she could possibly have schizophrenia and she is friends with a pickle. and she's the only one who sees him as someone that's alive. She often gets framed for committing acts of violence because of the pickle. Yeah. So I just feel like you can do a lot of stuff with Lammy because she's a new character. You can theorize, you can do a lot of stuff. I think that's kind of the point of a character as well, is like as long as you don't go, I guess, with a certain requirements and certain exceptions, you can do literally anything with a character. Sorry. Anyway, back to Captain Planet. Um, the story was basically the Earth spirit, Gaia, could no longer stand all the destruction and harm to the world. So she sent out 5 magic rings to 5 very special people. Kwame from Africa has the power over the earth. Linka from Russia has the power of wind. Wheeler from the United States has the power of fire. G from Asia has the power over water. And Mati from Brazil has the power of heart. And when they combine all of their powers together, they summon an environmentalist hero known as Captain Planet. Captain Planet's catchphrase is, "The power is yours." This means that the power is in our hands to protect our planet and do what's right and help make it so that our planet isn't polluted or in danger. So that's why, and since I've been watching Captain Planet a bit, I felt like I needed to put his catchphrase in the title of this stream. The titles of my streams don't really make any sense anymore, and they don't often have anything to do with what I'm working on. But still. Also, did you guys see the new episode on YouTube of Lucas the Spider? It was I can't remember what it was called, but it was basically Lucas and his new friend, who I still don't know the name of, but Lucas just thinks his name is Buzz, but the fly that he befriended. They're trying to find something to eat, and when Lucas learns that spiders eat flies, he thinks that's absolutely gross. So it's just them looking for something to eat. It's short, like all Lucas the Spider episodes, but it's a very cute episode nonetheless. Hey, Anila, welcome. It's nice to see you again. Oh, I don't know. I don't really. I say that I'm working on a list of my top 10 favorite shows, and I do have quite a few picks, but I just haven't gotten around to reworking that list because the shows that I watch are shows that I just love. Happy Tree Friends, even though I don't watch that as much as I used to. Um, Captain Planet, of course. Static Shock. Um, what's another one? Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Steven Universe. Unikitty. And I like this one show, even though it's for preschoolers. It's called Butterbean's Cafe. It just, I know that a lot of cartoons nowadays, especially kids' cartoons, don't have the same feel to them as like the ones I watched when I was a kid. but I do find a few kids cartoons nowadays that actually give me a good feel, like the ones that I watched when I was a kid did. And Butterbean's Cafe is one of them. It just reminds me of Strawberry Shortcake, I guess, because I watched Strawberry Shortcake as a kid, and actually so did my mom. But my mom, okay, so Strawberry Shortcake is a series that has been rebooted several times. The original Strawberry Shortcake first aired in the 1980s, and that's when my mom was born. And I've watched it, and it's very cute and it's very sweet. And there was one that aired in the early 2000s that was a reboot, and it was really, really good. And that's what I grew up watching, and I guess just the aesthetic of Butterbean's Cafe kind of reminds me of the Strawberry Shortcake I grew up watching because of how colorful it is and how sweet it is and all the yummy treats. Plus, it's very aesthetically pleasing to look at, and the characters are fun too, and the animation is very colorful and very well done as well. And Butterbean kind of reminds me of Strawberry Shortcake, like herself, like the character, the titular character. Because Strawberry Shortcake herself, she was very bright and very kind, and she liked making people happy, and so does Butterbean. And Butterbean has a little sister, and so does Strawberry Shortcake. Strawberry Shortcake has a little sister named Apple Dumpling, and Butterbean has a little sister named Cricket. So I guess just the sweetness and the colorfulness of it just reminds me of Strawberry Shortcake. So yeah, I like to watch a lot of things, mostly cartoons. Mm. What about you guys? What are some of your favorite things to watch? Yeah, cartoons are the best. And cartoons can also do and they can also do favors to people by some cartoons can teach people things. Like the preschooler cartoons on Disney Junior and Nick Jr. Teach things. No surprise there, because that's what they're supposed to do. But adult cartoons or even young child cartoons, like cartoons meant for people ages like 10 and up, can teach them things too, like Steven Universe. And it teaches and touches on things like um well it touched on abusive relationships and grief and loss and accepting things, and also LGBT relationships. Oh no, I completely understand. I completely get it. You just have so many favorite things that it's hard to count how many, and it's hard to narrow down which one is your favorite. Right now, I can't really decide what my favorite cartoon is since I've got so many I like to watch. I have been watching a lot of Static Shock recently. Have you guys ever watched Static Shock or heard of it? It's not that old, I don't think. I mean, it came out like 19 years ago. So, it's not that old. I mean, that is old, but not so old. Oh, I love Littlest Pet Shop. I loved getting Littlest Pet Shop toys when I was a kid, back before the series on Discovery Family aired. Like I had been collecting Littlest Pet Shops, and so had my cousin for so long, like before the Hub Family series was even a thing. Really. I haven't really watched a whole lot of Littlest Pet Shop. I've seen maybe like one or two episodes. I mean, it's cute. It's really cute. I just never really got into it. But there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that I was more into My Little Pony at the time, so and when I get into something like a TV show or whatever, I tend to only stick to one at a certain time, and that's part of my Asperger syndrome because people with Asperger's tend to become obsessed with mainly only one thing, and it can be a particularly unusual thing, or at least what society would consider unusual. But I've made progress because you got to have diversity in your life. You can't stick to the same thing over and over again, even if you do like it a whole lot. Too much of a good thing just isn't a good thing. Oh yeah, Blythe. I remember when I first saw the Blythe toy, because like before the Littlest Pet Shop TV show was a thing on Discovery Family, like they had already had like a Blythe toy. I remember when that first came out, I'm just like, oh, so we're adding the Barbie aesthetic of like the animal with the human companion or something. Because I'm just like, oh yeah. Because like I said, I have had Littlest Pet Shop toys before that series was even a thing. I remember I remember one Littlest Pet Shop in particular I had. It was a little kitten. It was a little kitten Littlest Pet Shop, and it was a teeny kitten with big eyes and golden fur. I don't know. Okay, I was a kid, so bear with me and try not to laugh, but I remember I named it Little Tumble Tumble cuz like I would always like move it around in my fingers so it looked like it was tumbling, but I guess I just and it was so small, so I guess I just that's why I called it Little Tumble Tumble. Hey Claire, welcome. Oh yeah, of course. Definitely. I loved that episode as well. A lot of the old episodes of My Little Pony are really good, but a lot of the newer episodes are good too. I know they say that My Little Pony isn't exactly the series that it used to be, and they're right, it's not. But honestly, it's not a bad show. I mean, yeah, it does have moments where I'm just like, why is this a thing or why is this happening? Because it doesn't feel like it's anything anymore, but MLP is still a great series, and I can't wait for season 9. But bringing back one of those other cartoons that I talked about, Static Shock. I asked any of you if you had ever heard of Static Shock or watched it. Like I said, it's not really that old. It's almost 20 years old. I think next year it'll be 20 years old. But have any of you ever heard of it or seen it? Of course you can. You can make an art request in the future. That's good. Oh yeah, Static Shock. It was about this 14-year-old high schooler named Virgil Hawkins. He lives with his dad and his older sister Sharon. His mother is deceased. She was killed in a gang fire. I don't know how to explain it, but gunshots from like gangs. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, one day he gets caught up in a gang related accident and a gas explosion happens that the citizens of Dakota Hills later name the Big Bang, and anyone who is affected by it are referred to as Bang Babies because they either mutate, get some kind of weird power, or even both. No, I haven't seen The Bird Box. I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it. If it's a horror movie, I'm probably not going to watch it because lately horror movies have been actually legitimately scaring me. They didn't do that. They never used to do that, but for some reason now they do. But anyway, Virgil is affected by the gas and he gets these cool like electric static electricity powers, and it's really cool because he then becomes a superhero known as Static. And it is even though most of the series is just basic superhero things like villains and all that, and but it does also there have also been episodes of it that have touched on serious issues like racism and mental issues, and also even school shootings. No, I haven't. I didn't think that they were going to reboot it, considering they just continue the franchise. They just keep continuing the franchise. Really? Well, it's not me. I don't like hating on people. I mean, sometimes I do end up doing that without realizing it, but I know you're not talking about me, because, like, seriously, that's not even what I do. That's not my favorite pastime. In fact, that is my least favorite thing. Oh, I have no clue. I don't even want to imagine. I mean, Bride of Chucky is, it wasn't a bad movie, but I don't know. There are just some things about it that are a bit too much. Like, I don't know, watching two killer dolls have sex with each other after one of them just murdered a couple. I mean, I'm not saying that that couple didn't deserve it, but honestly, you don't need to be so frickin' brutal. And Seed of Chucky, oh my gosh, that one was even more bizarre. Don't even get me started on the scene where Chucky was friggin' jerking off. Oh, jeez. I think there are just some points when a horror series or any series in general just the sequels go too far and they just do things that are too much even for what they are. Like, yeah, Chucky is a fucked up thing because, like, it's a doll and yet it's possessed by a serial killer with voodoo magic. And now you're just gonna make said serial killer jerk off into a cup for reasons that I can't even comprehend. Oh yeah, that song. I knew what that song was before I had even heard of the Chucky series. I actually wrote a Chucky fan fiction that's on my fanfiction.net account. I mean, you might not like it because it's kind of cheesy and predictable, plus self insertion doesn't normally go well. But I don't know. It's just sometimes I don't think certain things need a sequel. Yes, they're very popular and people might demand for a sequel, but sometimes it's just better to leave things as they are. I mean, if a sequel ends up turning out even better than the original or even acceptable compared to the original, despite the fact that no one asked for a sequel, then that's great, but you got to find your stopping point sometimes. I know that a lot of people might be disappointed and a lot of people might even want more, but sometimes you just got to find your stopping point before you end up you find yourself not even knowing what to do and then you're just scraping the bottom of the barrel for the best possible jokes or storytelling elements you can find, or you just don't tell a story at all and it's just some kind of sexual nonsense garbage or some garbage that doesn't even make any sense when you compare it to how things were in the original. My point is, yeah, sequels are fine, but sometimes you got to find your stopping point and you also need to establish a set of rules if you're going to continue your series. Which one? Which one are you talking about? Cuz I've written like 3 last time I checked. I know the one I'm currently working on is taking turns. I also wrote an alternate ending to Without a Hitch, and there was also this one called Flaky's Birthday, which is canon to my alternate universe. Oh, yeah, I'll help you out. Give me a sec. There you go. No one's left a review on that chapter yet, but that's okay. Oh, there's my Sharpie. I'm just like, where's my Sharpie? His face is so cute right now. OMG. I don't know why, but the facial expressions I make for Lammy are very aesthetically pleasing to me. Like, they're very visually pleasing to look at. Back to the Captain Planet thing, I was talking to a friend on Amino about two episodes in particular that faced serious issues, because the show itself is about protecting the environment. But these two episodes in particular that I've seen touched on issues that are also very serious. One of them was called Mind Pollution, and it focused on how on drugs and like drug abuse. Like, because one of the main characters, Linka, she's one of the Planeteers that helps defend the Earth. She went to go visit her cousin Boris, and she found out that he was addicted to a drug that was being dealt out by a villain she faced quite often named Verminous Scum, who, in fact, was originally voiced by Jeff Goldblum in, like, season 1, at least, I believe. And the drug was called Bliss, and it basically it causes people's eyes to turn red, and it causes them to laugh maniacally and also feel no pain, which is serious because, well, if you're just laughing maniacally for no reason and just laughing maniacally in general, that's concerning. And if your eyes turn red, then that's also very concerning because that's not natural. And and if you can't feel pain, that's also very serious. It can't? Well, I'll send it to you later on Amino and see if it does something different. Hello, Soy, welcome. Yes, there is going to be a chapter 7 for taking turns. I just need to think of a story. I have a basic plot in mind, and this chapter will involve a lemon. Um, what was I gonna say? Um, the basic premise is the topic is basically Flaky and Flippy talking about whether or not they are ready to have kids. And even though they're not like doing the thing because they want to have a child, it just like I'm just thinking basically they have a date night and they talk about things, and when they get home, Flaky isn't tired and she just wants to have a little more fun, so Flippy just decides, "Hey, I know one thing we can do to make this date night last a little bit longer," and then they do the thing. Oops. My computer's dying. I need to grab my charger. Jesus. There we go. Sounds good. You know what's funny? Even though I have a fear of sex, and that's called genophobia, it's kind of ironic that I have a fear of real life sex and I have a distaste for it in real life. Lemons and kinky stuff are pretty much the main things that I read. That's pretty ironic. I don't know. It's just if it's in a story, I guess it doesn't affect me as much, and especially if it's something cute and romantic, and it's not just, oh hey, let's go fuck each other, even though we don't know each other and we've just met and all that shit. I guess what I'm looking for is emotional. I guess I'm just not as prudish about something if it has emotional attachment to it. And you're not just doing it because, oh hey, I'm a teenager and I have hormones and I want to do this to you, and you're like, okay, I have hormones too, and even though we don't know each other and we don't have a romantic attraction to each other, let's just fuck each other because we have nothing better to do and because we want to be cool like everyone else. Guys, let me just break it down to you. I've never had sex, and oh, shit. And I'm probably not going to be ready for it in quite a while, for like quite a while anyway. But I'm pretty sure I know enough about it to know that it's something that's, it's not something that should be casual. It's not something that should be just taken advantage of. Like, when you have sex with someone, you're basically becoming attached to them in a way. In church, they described it as you're carrying someone's luggage. But yeah, I should keep that to myself. You're right. But I'm trying to make a point here. That's what I'm trying to do. My point is when you have sex with someone, you're carrying their luggage. And maybe they'll stay and maybe they'll help you carry that luggage. And that's how you know you found someone that you love and someone that you would maybe want to spend possibly your entire life with. But if you're just doing it as a casual thing and you're not even thinking about the emotional aspects of it and how it can affect you mentally, like for the future as well, I guess you're just going to end up carrying a whole bunch of luggage by yourself. And that's especially that's not good for you. So, I guess I'm just trying to justify that even though I have a real life fear, I have a fear of it for like real life stuff. It's just kind of ironic if you think about it. It's ironic to me. You're sick? I mean, do you have a fever or something? I hope you're okay, cuz like being sick, that's no fun, unlike some people think. Anyway, I'm gonna talk about that Captain Planet thing again, about the drugs. In the episode, the addicts of the drug that Scum deals out, uh, it causes them to act against like their better nature, and it causes them to basically turn into mindless zombies. That's the best practical way I can put it. Got to shake out that carpal tunnel. My mom says that artists must get carpal tunnel a lot. Well, if you have a cold, then you should definitely take the necessary action to make it feel better. I don't know exactly what that is. I've heard so many things about how to deal with a cold. I mean, the most obvious thing is rest. That rest can make a lot of things, like it can make you feel better if you have a lot of things like the flu. Definitely drink plenty of water, maybe even some orange juice. You're freaking 9? You're 9? What the hell are you doing on my stream? What your mom. Okay, I'm sorry, but like you're 9. What the hell are you doing on my stream? I mean, I'm not telling you to go away, but like seriously? Honestly, what is even going on? Like, you're 9, what the hell are you even doing on YouTube? You're 9, what the hell are you doing on the internet? Okay, just everything I said regarding the S word, just don't repeat it. Just like, you shouldn't even be on here, but seriously, oh my gosh. You're like 9. You're like you're like 10 years younger than me. I'll be 19 this year, so technically you're almost 10 years younger than me, girl. Like, seriously, what you doing here, man? I just did something extremely stupid. What the hell, man? His face is very cute. No, but I also don't want you to have a fucked up brain because of whatever comes out of my mouth. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's do this. Let's just not talk about certain things. Let's just not talk about certain things for the rest of this stream. Really, because like based on what I was taught, kids like give me a sec. Oh yeah, it says right here. Oh yeah, it says right here that 10-year-olds should not have unrestricted internet access. Just read this. The internet is everywhere. The family computer, the family TV, that tablet on the coffee table, blah, 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 blah. According to a study by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, 1 in 5 internet users ages 10 to 17 received a sexual solicitation or approach over the internet in a given year. 1 in 33 receive aggressive solicitation, including trying to arrange a meeting, gifts of meals or money, and phone calls. 1 in 4 had unwanted exposure to sexually explicit material. Bottom line, giving your child unrestricted, unmonitored access to the online world is asking for trouble. Get your head in the game by reading iMom's Ready Set Internet Guide. Oh, look at this. Other things that 10-year-olds shouldn't be doing. Drinking diet drinks, drinking sugary drinks, sitting for hours on end, watching PG-13 and R-rated entertainment, using social media, wearing provocative clothing, playing teen-rated or mature-rated video games, going out with a girlfriend or boyfriend, or getting less than 10 hours of sleep per night. I'm pretty sure. I know. I'm sorry. I'm just overreacting. It's just when I was a kid, I didn't know a lot of things. And as a kid, I'm pretty sure I had unrestricted internet access too. So I don't remember. I actually don't remember. I don't remember what my life was like when I was 9. I do remember I do remember I had the coolest pajamas when I was 9. Real fuzzy ones and real tight ones too that were really comfortable, oddly enough. I guess I gotta remember most of the people who watch my videos are like kids. I just sometimes I just forget that most of the people who watch my videos are like they're kids. They are children's. That's funny. a troll onesie. I have onesie pajamas too, except they have Mickey Mouse on them. They're kind of baggy. Not gonna lie, I've slipped while wearing them a couple times, and the feet have holes in them. I haven't worn them in a while. Yeah, I mean, like, most of the people who watch my videos are freaking kids, and meanwhile, I'm almost 19. I mean, after I'm done with high school, like this year, I'll be done with high school, and I'll be getting ready for college. Hey, welcome to the stream. Okay, Scooter Animations. I'll link you that thing later. I mean, I don't know if I should, but whatever. I swear this face is so adorable. Isn't that cute? Isn't that the cutest little thing you've ever seen? I'm sorry if I freaked out earlier about this, but I was taught differently when I was a kid. Like, as a kid, like, it's basic information that kids that are certain ages shouldn't know about certain stuff. And things are different nowadays. Kids know a lot more, and that kind of scares me, so I'm sorry if I overreacted. Yeah. I don't know if I've told you this. I probably have. I know I have, because I repeat things endlessly, but Lammy is one of the youngest residents in town. I mean, obviously, the youngest is Cub, because he's at least a toddler, because he can walk on his own, but he must still be at the age where, like, he wears diapers, because, I mean, I was out of diapers by the time I was like 1, because that's when my mom started toilet training me. But the thing about this face is just it's very childish looking, like with the puffed up cheeks. She does seem very young as well because she does act like a young child. So that's why I predicted that she must still be like a young teenager. That's why I roughly estimate that she's like 16. I knew I was forgetting a color. I mean, I know that Happy Tree Friends is a show of very little continuity, and that's why the characters just keep coming back to life. But yeah, sometimes you do come across fucked up stuff on the internet. Oh, who am I kidding? A lot of the times you come across fucked up stuff on the internet. Earlier, I searched something that I have not searched in years, and that's a Sonic Yowie couple that I used to be obsessed with. It's the shipping of Sonic and Shadow, also known as Sonido or even Shadonic, but Sonido is its main name. And I searched it, and the first thing that came up was a video, and in the thumbnail it was, well, let's just say that what I saw in the thumbnail would not be safe for a child to see. It was very explicit, and it showed explicit things, and that's often what I looked for in a yaoi video, because like I said, I used to have a very unhealthy obsession with porn. But I went to counseling and I got better, and I guess that's why I'm very prudish nowadays. That's why I reject that's why I'm very rejecting of certain 18 plus things. That's what everyone thinks, Flips. That's what everyone thinks. And that's why the show that's why it's a genius show, because it's a wolf in sheep's clothing. It tricks you. And I think that that's it's very clever. Like how it did that is very clever. Like I said, I don't watch Happy Tree Friends as much as I used to, and I'm not the fan I used to be, but and you could say I'm kind of forcing myself to still be into it because I don't want to be one of those people that abandons a project that I've been working so hard on just because I've lost interest or I've grown apart from something. And I know it's not healthy to force yourself to like something, but honestly, it's not like I hate it. I just don't have the same feel for it as I used to. But I do things to keep my interest. I mean, it happens to all of us eventually. Eventually, we grow out of something or we grow tired of something. And my mom said that's especially prevalent in me because because my mind is looking for a new obsession. My mind is looking for something else to grow attached to and obsess over. That's just how my mind works, and I have to get that under control. And I think I've been doing good about that. Yeah, I mean, unless you've already seen some kind of spoiler, like you looked it up and you saw, oh my gosh, what is that in Google Images? And you're just like, well, surely, like, unless you're spoiled in some way, there's no way you can go into that show knowing fully what's going to happen. There's no way you can know ahead of time that something bad is about to happen, something gory. There's just no way you can know that ahead of time unless someone tells you or unless I don't know. Unless you're spoiled in some way about the show, then there's no other way you can know ahead of time. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to use black first. The longest obsession I've ever had, I mean, aside from Happy Tree Friends, was probably Sonic the Hedgehog. I was completely enamored with it. That's all I would talk about, and it's all I would ever look up or read or anything. And at that time, I was also a huge Yowie fan because, well, what female does not like Yowie? I mean, I guess there are some females out there. Probably most of them are normal citizens, normal human beings. I don't know. There's just something about guy on guy stuff that makes females go, ah! Sorry, I can't do a proper squeal. My throat is like, nope. I've had people point out in the past that I seem to obsess over one particular character in a show or franchise or whatever, and I tend to revolve everything around them. And yes, that is something I do. I'm not doing it to be annoying. It's just Like I said, it's part of my Asperger's. I tend to get hooked on something, and that becomes my center of my focus. It's the center of my attention, and anything else is just that. Well, just make sure you also have some other things as well as your like for happy tree friends, because it's like I said, variety is the spice of life, and too much of a good thing isn't a good thing. Pretty soon you can find yourself becoming sick of something instead of liking it as much as you used to. And for some reason my favorites tend to be the typical favorite character. Like, Flippy is the most popular Happy Tree Friends character by far, along with Splendid and Flaky and maybe a few others, but those are typically the popular ones based on what I've seen. And a lot of people tend to, hey, Bunny Balloon, welcome. I was wondering if you were going to show. But what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Um, like, and Flippy is my favorite character. And I know that might seem typical or annoying to some people, but if I genuinely like something, I can't help it. And that was the same with Sonic. The most popular character in that franchise is Shadow. I mean, it's pretty obvious. And he was my favorite character, and he still is, even though I'm not the fan I used to be. I'm not obsessed like I used to be, but I'm still a fan. Oh yeah, work. Pfft, who needs it? We do, because we need to make money and provide for ourselves and others. Well, yeah, I mean, over time, you grow tired of something and you want to find something new. My brain does that. My brain does that, and it's you could argue that it's unhealthy or annoying, but it's just how Asperger syndrome works. I even have a plushie of him over there, and when I got him for Christmas, it was like my entire world, and I would take him everywhere. I would kiss him, and I actually used to ship myself with him, please don't hate me. I used to have an unhealthy obsession with him, and it was it's pretty embarrassing when I think about it now. But I still appreciate him and I still like him. I'm just not as you know, I'm not as gross about it. I'll admit it. It was gross. I guess it's just because I've grown up now. What's what's gotcha life? I have heard of this before, but I don't know what it is. What's gotcha life? Oh, sometimes I feel like I should really have a Happy Tree Friends plushie, but my mom does not want me watching Happy Tree Friends, let alone having merchandise from it. And even though I have merchandise from it now, my mom has made it a point to tell my relatives not to not to send me any other Happy Tree Friend stuff. So I'm just lucky for the stuff I have now, like the little figurines I have of Nutty and Flaky, and the postcards I have up there, and also my Toothy t-shirt. It's a game where you dress up the characters. Sounds like a lot of computer games that I played when I was a child. I actually used to be a little girlier than I am now. Like, I actually used to be girly. Well, I mean, my mom has good reasons, I guess, because she knows that I was obsessed. She knew that I was obsessed with it, and she didn't want my obsession to grow out of control. I guess she just didn't want me to have any more reason to be obsessed. And also because when I was watching Happy Tree Friends, I had the tendency to act scary towards my sister. So I guess she just didn't want to encourage any more bad behavior. And even though I don't do that now, I guess she just still doesn't want it. I mean, I haven't talked to her about the whole Happy Tree Friends thing in a while. I've been tempted to ask her if I'm still not allowed to watch it, but then I feel like she's gonna say no, and then I'm gonna end up hating myself for asking such a question that seems like it would have a really obvious answer. I want to boop Truffles on the nose. Is that wrong? I don't know. I just kind of want to go up to him and boop him on the nose. I mean, he might not appreciate that. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. Maybe he'll seem like he doesn't appreciate it, but in reality, he's like, oh my gosh, I have someone who booped me on the nose. Yay. I don't know. Whenever I try to boop my sister's nose, she always tries to hide because she thinks it's a game. You see, you guys are all so much younger than me, so I feel weird sometimes. I mean, in certain circumstances, I guess age is just a number, but I just feel like, you know, it's just like, uh, oh yeah. Except you, Bunny Balloon, you're actually older than me by like a year. Oh, don't, but you and I have the same birthday, like it's on the same day, just in separate years. Oh, I'm sorry your mom's in jail. My mom herself has also done jail time in the past for mistakes that she's made. But my mom hasn't been in jail as long as I've known her. I mean, I don't think that's true, but like, wait. My mom has been in jail since I've known her, but I can't like I can never hate my mom because she's my mom. Your mom's mean to you. Is that why she's in jail? Does she abuse you? Does she hit you? Like how is she mean to you? That's good. I hope soon I'll be able to do an art trade with you, Bunny, because I feel like that's something you and I should have done at least 10 of by now, considering that, I don't know. I just feel like you're one of the most obvious people I should do an art trade with, and yet we haven't yet. When she hits you, does it really hurt? And does she say things to you that make you feel like you're not worth anything or whatever? I don't think a parent should ever hit their child. I mean, I don't mind them. I don't mind a parent giving their child a spank, like spanking their child if they really deserve it. Like, I remember I got spanked only a few times as a child, but you shouldn't like hit your kid. You should never ever like full on hit your kid or raise your fist to your kid because like that's child abuse. All right, you should definitely get some sleep then. See you later, Queen. Normally I would have called it a night by now, but I guess I'm just not feeling tired, which is good because I was worried that I'd be tired because the cough syrup that they prescribed to me for my pneumonia is mom said that it's supposed to make me feel drowsy, and it was making me feel drowsy earlier, but I guess watching Captain Planet kind of kept me up. Watching Captain Planet while drawing kept me up. Well, let me tell you something, Flippy. Don't ever let anyone make you feel that way. I mean, it happens to all of us at least once in our lives. We feel sad or broken down, and we don't even feel comfortable in our own skin. And sometimes we even think that the world would be better if we were never born. There was even a movie about it. It was called, it came out in like 1940 something. It was called It's a Wonderful Life. And it's about this man who thinks that the whole world would be better off and everyone in his life would be better off if he was never born. And it's a Christmas movie. So, like, in the movie, a Christmas, a man who is his Christmas angel appears to him and shows him what the world would be like if he was never born. And long story short, it was terrible. A lot of people suffered without him, and one person even died without him. So, let it be a lesson that if you ever think that you don't belong in the world and things would be better if you were never here, don't think like that because that's not true. Because you and I both know that you have worth and value. Even if one or even several people don't think so, and even if those people try to make you feel like you don't matter, that's not true. We all are here for a reason. Whatever that reason may be, you must live on to find out what your purpose is. Because at the end of the day, what those mean people say, even if they are your family, doesn't matter. Because they just want to make you feel bad so that they'll feel better about themselves. I hope that helped you, Flippy, because I've often felt like everything would be better if I was never born. I often feel like my mom would be a lot less stressed out if I was never born. But then I remember that my mom needs me and I need her. Even as I'm approaching that age where I need to take more responsibility for myself as an adult, I need my mom a lot. And she needs me too. So just remember, no matter what anyone else says, you matter and you exist for a reason. Just find it in yourself to find that reason, even if it takes you your whole life. And that's good because that's one thing that will cause them to leave you alone. If they see that what they're doing is not affecting you, they'll grow bored. And then, well, they might try to find someone else, but if you see someone else getting picked on or bullied, do something about it. Stand up for them. Tell them to stop. Get an adult. And you can even educate that person who's being picked on. Tell them that whatever bullies are saying doesn't matter. A tradition, huh? I wouldn't say we really have traditions in my family, but my cousin and I both agree that like it's a tradition for us to play video game like when we have a sleepover, like when we sleep over at each other's houses, it's a tradition for us to play video games while we eat breakfast in the morning. That's a tradition for us, quote unquote. And recently I felt like my relationship with her is going downhill, and I chalked it up to many different reasons. I thought maybe it was because of the fact that I was growing up, and also because I was kind of being really lazy. Oh yeah, the playing video games while eating breakfast at a sleepover. That was very important to me and my cousin when we were growing up, and it's still important to us now. My cousin is also 16, or at least she will be 16 this year. All right. I've outlined all the pages that I've needed to outline. And since I don't feel like getting up for more paper, I'm just going to work on something else. My cousin and I are 3 years apart in age, and yet she's taller than me. I have been this height since 2014. Now, I want to draw something, just something random. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate your concern and your kind words. But honestly, it could be much worse. I mean, I don't know if it's the same for where you guys live, but everything is going around. Like all kinds of diseases have been going around lately. The flu, colds, and now I have pneumonia. So I guess maybe that could also be something that's going around. I'm the shortest of many of the students in my high school. Even like even freshmen, even some of the freshmen are taller than me, even if it's only by a few inches. Because if I was just 1 inch taller, I'd be like 5 feet. Measles? Isn't that when you get these blotches on your face and you start to feel like you have a fever or something? Isn't that what measles is? Or am I confusing it with something else? Okay, I don't need my charger. Got enough. Because I know that measles has something to do with getting something on your face. It could be like spots or blotches. I remember there was a Flintstones episode where, um, what's Fred Flintstone's friend Barney? What's his wife's name again? Isn't it Betty? Because I know Fred Flintstone's wife's name is Wilma, but what's Barney's wife's name? Isn't it Betty? I don't remember her name, but I remember that Fred and Barney's wives caught measles and they had like spots on their faces. Yep, I was right. A fever and blotchy skin rashes are symptoms of measles. I was right. I was right. Man, I should know. I certainly know my diseases. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I want to draw. I want to do some drawings of my floof son because I haven't been drawing him a lot lately. Which one should I draw? Should I draw Flippy or should I draw Flickby? Which one? Which of my floof sons should I draw? Okay. All right. What should I draw? Like, what should he be doing in the drawing? What should I draw him doing? Um, Crying? You want me to draw him crying? Or is that just you crying over him because he's so fab? I don't know if it's right to call him that. I don't know. I don't know if he would appreciate that considering how he is. It's like, hmm, I don't know why I'm biting the skin on my lip. That's not healthy. Don't you whine at me. I'm a woman. I deserve respect. My logic. If my dog whines at me, I come at her with the I deserve respect card. So freaking weird. The sun's gonna get stuck inside your. The sun's gonna get stuck inside your. The sun's gonna get stuck inside your head. You don't know how hard it is to be me right now because I love to sing and having these throat problems. Just like you can't sing, I can't sing. Saluting. Oh yeah, I get it because he's a soldier. All right. Whenever I get a fan art, like in general, not just of my floof son, whenever I get a fan art, it makes me feel really special. Like I get this good feeling in my stomach, like I get butterflies in my stomach. It's really. Oh, thank you. Hey, Misty. This person says you're cute. She's wagging her tail, so I guess that means thank you. Can you imagine Flickby as like a drill sergeant? He just walks like people are lined up and he's just like he has his hands behind his back and he's just walking back and forth like he's pacing in front of them. He's just like, "Okay, this is how it works, you little girls. I say jump, you say how high. I tell you to do something, you do it with no objections. Do I make myself understood?" And it's just so funny. Just like And if someone sasses him, he just freaking knocks them on their ass. It's just so funny to imagine him like that. I have no clue why. That just sounds really funny. Catchy, it's such a catchy song. Oh, jeez. Just like he would just like stretch out his words like, okay, you little girl, let's do this. It's so funny to think about. This is looking good so far. Looking good, looking good, looking good. Oh, whoopsies. Yeah, that's pretty much who he is. Or pretty much that's who Flickby is. Has anyone else besides me and possibly a few other people in this stream seen the Lego Movie 2, the second part? Has anyone seen that movie? Anyone? I like the new style I've developed for his chest fluff. It looks less like a palm tree and more like something's kind of like reaching out of the neck of his tank top. Oh, well, you should. Hey! Hey, I don't appreciate that. Yeah, I remember that. I remember you told me that you saw it. Stop barking. I don't appreciate that and I don't want that. I'm not about that life. Yes, Misty, I know. Nothing is ever fair. You see this dog? She thinks nothing is ever fair. Look at this damn dog. Stop it. I don't appreciate that. I don't think I've ever seen that one. Or maybe I have and I just don't recognize it. Yes, yes, I know. I know nothing is ever fair. Nothing is ever fair. Look at this psychotic dog. This dog is a psycho hound. Look at her. Lucy, no one cares. Hey, I don't. Get up here. Lay the hell down. This dog is driving me nuts. I'm trying to do a stream. I know you don't understand because you're a doggy, but honestly, this dog does not understand shit. I don't appreciate. Misty! Misty! Hey! I don't appreciate your methods of communication. I don't appreciate it, so I would appreciate it if you would stop right now. I do not appreciate this. I unappreciate it heavily. Yes, but he is our psychotic bear, and for some reason we worship him like he is God. I don't know. There's just something about I don't know why I like him so much. There's just something about him. He's really funny too. It's just Flickby, like, of course he's dangerous and he's a dick and he's a serial killer and all that, but honestly, he's really funny when you break it down. Like, there are some parts about him that are really funny. Like, I remember the episode Here Today, Gone Tomorrow, where like he had the axe and he was just kept ringing the doorbell, but Lumpy wouldn't come because he was deaf, and he just like looks at his watch. He just looks at his watch and then just throws the axe on the ground and stomps off like a damn child. It's just when you break it down, he just sometimes he just tries too hard and he's just like just let this one go. Go terrorize a bunny or something. Hey Miles, welcome. I thought you weren't gonna make it. He just I don't know, he just seems very childish. There's just something about him. Anyway, back to working on this drawing. Can't forget to draw his dog tags. It's a slow day, huh? So obviously, like most of you are, a lot of you are from Amino, and you've seen my Valentine's Day pictures. But like, I love the Flickby X Flaky one that I did. Oh, whoopsies, wrong teeth. Love just Flaky giving Flickby a little box of chocolates as his first Valentine's Day gift. And he's just looking at it with this childish expression of wonder on his face. Sometimes I also wonder if like people would portray him in a way where like he doesn't frickin' understand anything. It's just like, can you imagine him like trying to fit in normally and then like just Flaky tells him, "Okay, can you leave? I need to change my clothes." And he's like, "Why?" And she says, "I need to change into my other clothes." And he's like, "Okay, then you can do that." And then she's like, "I can't do it with you in here." And he's like, "Why?" And she says, "Because because boys aren't supposed to see girls change clothes." And he says, "Why?" It's just, can you imagine if someone portrayed him like that? Because in stories I've seen, he's obviously knowledgeable about how sex works and all that, and oftentimes I see him portrayed as perverted, which I honestly don't really have too much of a problem with as long as it's not too disgusting. But um I just wonder if someone would ever like portray him in a way where like he doesn't freaking understand anything. And I honestly don't, like I said, I don't have a problem when authors or story writers portray him as a little bit perverted, because if you think about it, okay, obviously what's canon is different, but whatever, but he's obviously like a sadist. He's obviously a sadist, and he gets off of he and and a sadist is obviously someone who derives pleasure from the pain of others, and that could also translate into like sexual pleasure. So when you think about it, it also kind of fits. No, I don't think I have. I don't think I've heard of that. And actually, when you think about it, like all men are perverts in some way. Some are just more perverted than others, and some just show it better. It's okay. All right. Thanks. I'll make sure to read that. Uh what's the fan fiction about? So cute. I hope you won't have a hard time seeing this, but I'll try to show it. Oh geez, that actually sounds interesting. That actually sounds very interesting. So in case you couldn't read it, it's just him like saluting kind of like this, I guess you'd say, and he's just like, "Am I doing it right?" Yeah, that's something that I'm just like, what would happen if this like I'm sure we all want to know like what would happen if he just tried to socialize like a normal person? Like what if he just slowed down for a minute and started like talking? Like I remember this one fan fiction by an author called Dreamy Loner. It's called Manic Love. It was actually one of the first flippy flaky fan fictions I got into. There was like a chapter later where he was talking to Flaky about why he existed and basically the ins and outs of what went down and why Flippy was half psychotic and how bad of a soldier he was before he came along. So I think it's just interesting when he slows down and just talks a little bit because it's very interesting because you don't normally see him the entire time he's on screen in the show. He's just killing people. That's pretty much what he does. So I guess in a fan fiction, it's just interesting to see him do something else. So yeah, that's enough of my ramble. I'll go back to drawing. I think the next drawing I do of him on this paper will be of like him and Cub. I hope I can execute this. No pun intended. I've also read Happy Tree Friend fan fictions where like they have good ideas and good intentions, but the way they execute them is not all that well. Like it comes across as super half baked. Like the you're not separating your quotations like in senses of the writing. Like how you separate your words and paragraphs and sentences. It's okay. Responding late is something that I am prone to doing because people with autism don't pick up on social cues. Is that how that's supposed to be said? You just imagine Flickby giving Cub a piggyback ride, and he's just saying, "I hope you're grateful for this squirt. I don't do this for just anyone." Oopsies. Yeah, Skippy too. Do you think that Skippy and Flickby would actually be friends with each other? Or like, I don't know. I wonder if like Skippity somehow got transported to my universe and like I wonder how their interaction would go down. We should probably write a story like that or something. Sugar, yes me, won't you come and put it down on me right here? 'Cause I need little lovely little somebody and to show me good loving, make it alright. Need a little sweetness in my life. That's funny. That would be really, really funny. I just said that maybe we should like okay, I know that obviously it's just like, oh yeah, you're just teleporting them to the universe for this one little scenario that's so immature. It's just like whatever, shut the fuck up. And I was just thinking maybe like what would happen if Skippity met my floof son. You know, in that animation by Chow, it was like a parody of ASDF movie. It was called HTF movie. Um, right, right. Okay. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like in my AU when Cub gets older, he takes a liking to sports, specifically basketball. And like as a teenager, like even as a teenager, he still holds a strong bond, a brother-like bond with Flickby. And sometimes he even goes to him when he wants to relax or unwind because he sometimes fights with his dad a lot. Like he fights with his dad quite a bit. And he goes to Flickby just hoping to rant to him and tell him like, he doesn't get me, or like, he's such a jerk. Why does he have to be in my case all the time? Typical teenage stuff. Well, I honestly think it's cool that you chose to ship her with Pop because honestly, he needs more love. I actually really like him. He's a good character. Sure, he doesn't really know how to take care of his son properly, but that's actually realistic because I read on the Happy Tree Friend wiki, like there was a section that talked about how some of them exhibit real animal-like behaviors, and one of them was that male bears are actually terrible fathers. And I don't know. It just said that male bears are actually terrible fathers. How old do you guys think Cub is? Because obviously he's still young. Obvious like he still wears a diaper, so he can't be like he couldn't be like more than 1 or 2 years old. I mean, typically the age where a child starts learning how to use the toilet properly is like 1 or 2. I mean, that's how old I was. Whoopsies. I think Cub has to be at least like 2 years old, if not like 1.5 years old, because the wiki says he's like 4, and like I refuse to I refuse to believe that Because I refuse to believe that he's actually 4 and he still wears a damn diaper. Because, like, 4-year-olds do not wear diapers. I mean, they don't typically wear them, but... Hey, come up here. Come on, Miss Moo. Hi. Yes, I love you too. Yes, I love you so much. Yes. And he's obviously old enough to where he can walk upright by himself. I'm sorry. Misty, you keep hurting his ears. You keep hurting their ears. Oh my gosh, you're so freaking annoying. Can you believe this monstrosity? Yes, I love you. I'm sick of you. Go away. Yeah. And hey, maybe maybe that's actually a pull-up and we've all been lied to our whole lives. Something else I want to do like more of is I want to do more artwork of Flickby's mom, Cora, cuz like I see potential, but it's not going to make sense unless I do the Trials comic, so will you stop it? Can you believe this dog? This dog is driving me crazy. I don't care if you want an iPhone. Mom detests Apple products. Can you tell this dog? Tell this dog she can't have an iPhone. Misty, there are some dogs out there who just can't get iPhones, and you're one of them. You sit down. Zip the lip, onion dip. You see? They say it themselves. You can't have a freaking iPhone. This fuzzy dog is driving me berserk. This dog is berserk, like the anime. This dog is berserk. Now go away. Sit down. Leave me the H alone. I don't care if you want an iPhone. Yes, I love you. Yes, I love you. Well, my mom did. What have I told you? Detest. I protest against your barking. Go suck a truck. Finally, she shut up. Okay, first of all, Misty is a she. And second of all, she gets love all day long. I can sit down and do a dang stream, and she can just shut the H up. Seriously, we have no idea how spoiled this dog is. Has anyone here ever had a Toblerone bar? Because honestly, I had never heard of these things until last year. Here we go. Have you guys ever used a Polaroid camera? It's funny. Really? Because until last year, I had never heard of a Toblerone bar. What do you think? Looks pretty good, doesn't it? I hope you appreciate this squirt, because I don't do this for just anyone. Oh, geez, it's midnight already? Damn. Oh, and guess what? Because of my pneumonia, I won't be able to go to my little sister's cousin's birthday party tomorrow. And my little sister's cousin, his name is Sam. He adores me. So I guess I'm betting he's probably going to be really sad if I don't show up. But I don't want to spread pneumonia. I don't know if pneumonia can spread easily, but I don't know. I'm going to look it up. Hang on. Okay, so it didn't give me a straight answer. Google never gives you a straight answer. But apparently some types of pneumonia can be contagious. I don't know if mine is, but if it is, then damn. Yeah, exactly. Okay, now it's midnight, and normally I would end the stream at around this time, but I want to do at least one more doodle before I go to bed. So, what should he be doing? What should I have him do right now? Because right now I have one of him saluting, and he's not sure if he's doing it right. Now I have one of him giving Cub a piggyback ride, and he's just basically trying to say. He's basically trying to save his pride by saying, "I hope you appreciate this, because I'm not doing this for just anybody." He's basically trying to save his pride when in reality he loves this just as much as Cub does. Oh, such a cute little arrogant fluffball. I don't care if you want an iPhone. I said no. You know, Misty, there are some dogs out there who don't even have homes, let alone iPhones. So maybe you should just learn to appreciate the kisses you get. And the high grade food you get too. Oh, she will love that. Oh my gosh. Bah. Lay down. I said lay down, not come all the way over here. Dang it, no. No, she has me enamored. No. Blah, 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 blah. You are such an evil dog. This dog is evil. This dog is evil. Look at her. Look how evil she is. She's so evil. Ah, she's evil. Help me. Help me, guys. She's taking me. She's taking me to the dark side. Yes, I know. I know. You want attention, but go the HOA. Yeah, you heard her, even though you can't read because you're an animal. Actually, I think some animals might actually be capable of understanding human language, even in written form. Stop growling. Now you're saying you want an iPod? Well, too bad. I can't even get my iPod to work, so you don't get one. It's like every time I look at Misty and a word comes out of my mouth, she just starts wagging her tail. Hmm. Oh yeah, an earlier subject we were talking about, like favorite shows. I just remembered another show that I've been watching a lot lately. This is a show I used to watch a lot of when I was a bit younger. It's an old anime, an old children's anime. It's called in Japanese it's called Hoshi no Kabi, which translates into Kirby of the Stars. And uh it's in the English dub it's Kirby right back at you. It's based off of the Kirby games. It came out in like the early 2000s, so it's based off of like the old classic ones. And what is it? Oh, I love Lilo and Stitch. It was such a good movie. And the sequel was really good too. Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch has a glitch. That scene where Stitch almost died was just heart clenching. I'm gonna be honest with you here. I suck with proportions and matching them up. So right now, this pose feels a little awkward, but I make it work. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Everything is awesome when you're living a dream. I haven't seen much of the anime. I haven't seen much of the anime to be honest, but from what I have seen, it's interesting. I also like Yuna. She has a very cute design, like her pigtails. Oh, I love the Powerpuff Girls Z animation. I actually used to watch that too. I used to watch a lot of cool things when I was a bit younger. Ay, ay. Oh yeah, I have a better style for drawing Flaky's quills now. Makes it feel like real hair, even though her quills aren't hair, they're quills. I read this one Happy Tree Friends fan fiction. It was kind of dark and it's kind of not what I would normally read. But basically, Flaky kind of also developed a second split personality. Now, normally I'm against that because, like, it's so predictable and cliche and not really needed. But if people want to do it, then fine, that's okay. But, basically, what happened was she fell into a toxic lake, and that caused her to become deranged and psychotic. In a way, it kind of reminds me of Ren from the Ren and Stimpy show. Just like how strange it is. All right, that sounds great. I can't wait to see them. But it wasn't like it had a hint of like Flippy X Flaky in it. I mean, Flippy's main concern in that episode, in that fanfiction, was getting Flaky help, and Sniffles had a crush on Flaky, and yeah, Flaky, it had a good ending. It was somber, but still a happy ending, I guess you'd say. It was, it was freaky. And it's just hard to imagine Flaky like that. Because, yes, Flaky does kind of have like, fragile sanity. We've all seen in the show that she can be mentally unstable given the circumstances. But it's honestly hard to imagine her as, like, psychotic or sadistic. I've heard of Ale, and I've seen Ale. I've never heard of Adam, though. I'm not really a big fan of Flippy Sue's because honestly, like, I mean, it's a fangirl. Like, you just make yourself like Flippy so that the pairing will work. I'm not really a fan of other characters having evil sides because that's one of the things that makes Flippy a unique character and it makes him who he is. But I'm not discouraging it, but I'm just saying that it's not really necessary. Oh, it is? Jeez. Now, I don't know if he's necessarily kissing her cheek in this picture, but he's definitely grabbing her face and smooching it. He's not like directly getting her lips, but he's definitely smooching her. Yeah. I mean, Flippy Sue's will be Flippy Sue's. I mean, come to think of it, are we really any better? I mean, we're all fangirls. We all do fangirl things. So are we really any better? I don't really think anyone has any right. Listen, when you break it down about human speech, no one ever has any right to say anything about anyone or anything. I know that's hard to digest, but no one ever really has any right to say whatever. Because in reality, whatever we say is just going to either be dismissed, contradicted with another speech, or brought up later when we do something similar. So in reality, there's really nothing you can say that can save you from anything. That's kind of sad when you break it down. This is nice. I like drawing my floof son. I miss drawing him. Huh, I see. Well, I'm gonna end off the stream here. It's almost 12:30, but I'll still be on Amino for a while. I'm not really feeling tired, even though I should be by now. So I'll still be on Amino if any of you Amino folks want to talk, but I'm gonna end off the stream here. That was actually a really good stream, so peace out, my 25ers, and I will see you soon.